Let's go. I'm the Doc, John Macaroon. I can earn the opportunity to wear this hat. If you follow us at Detroit Podcast, you know why. The Doc doesn't hide in the shade. Are you kidding me? How do you cover an NFL team from that far back? The idea is to be closer. Sunscreen helps, water helps, but it's great. They outed themselves. The other media outed themselves. But listen, I'll give them credit. There is an idea to work smarter, not harder. But this is football. This is training camp. The least you could do is stand in the heat and cover the Detroit Lions hiding in the stands. Some of the media, my friends, at least tell them no pictures. At least say, hey, don't get caught. Be sly about it. The young generation, my goodness, so willing to hide and open and just let someone take a picture of you. Now, I will say this for Miss Paula Pass, she can do whatever she wants. She gets a pass. I'll start with that, the fun stuff. The silliness first, then the seriousness. Is how we're going to do it. Probably next hour or so. If you have questions, drop them. If you want your question asked, priority question, drop a super chat. Hit the notification bell. So every single day, every single day, I'm trying to broadcast throughout training camp. Let's see how it goes. You guys have been supportive and engaged and really a part of the Detroit Lions community that I value so much. The digital community, those that enjoy the podcast, the video podcasts. But first and foremost, I earned the grit label today. And you guys know who you are because I'm going to highlight you because it was out in the open. The PR director's like, whoa, wait a minute. There's some people in the stands. Now, Miss Paula Pash, it gets a veteran status. She can do whatever she wants. The other youngsters, the young generation, younger than 40, sitting in the stands because it's too hot. Now, I know I don't get as much credit for standing in the heat. I'm Arabian. I'm used to the desert heat. I play tennis. I play golf. The heat, I like it. You sweat a little bit. You kind of wake up. But to hide in the shade, how do you cover football from that far back? That's not cool. So I got to take a little bit of a poke at those guys. We're going to highlight it because it was highlighted online. The Doc's a lover, not a fighter. Come on, guys. You know. We talk junk behind a microphone. You guys, Dave, you're definitely following the bit. It's great. I appreciate it. Your guys' questions, please ask. We'll get to as many as humanly possible throughout the next hour. But we're going to just start with some fun and hilarity. Is that it was hot for sure. It was a hot day on the sidelines, but that's just part of the elements. You got to take notes. Now, I typically take notes on a notepad, but it was so hot, I just went right to the phone and just started, luckily, great PR staff got me some water, took care of everyone, but it wasn't that bad. It was like a uncomfortableness of like a 6. You're watching football. You're watching Jared Goff and the excitement level. Like my adrenaline gets going. How do you, I understand it's definitely most important to, take care of yourself and watch out for the sun and all that. But they have sunscreen available. You can kind of take care of yourself. So right away, it's hot. Everyone's noticing. All of a sudden, the PR director has to notice it too. And he shared it. I was a little bit surprised that they shared it because it's one of those things where you're covering football. Being out there is a privilege. And also, too, from the vantage point of, when you guys follow me at Detroit Podcast, I want to bring you the best coverage. And you can see the toss is better. You can get is pretty much every opportunity to get a close vantage point. We can only watch practice like this where you see 2 hours of practice for this 1 month. When the season starts, guys, we only get 5 minutes. It's basically count who's there and leave. You don't watch anything but the stretching. Now's the only time you get to see these guys practice live. And so I'm taking full advantage. So grit. I earned this hat today. I got the grit. No doubt about it. I'll just, I account for myself. Stand on the sidelines and take it, It's not that difficult. Not that difficult at all to watch football up close to bring the best vantage point. So when there was fights, I was right there listening. Boom, boom. I got to see all the fisticuffs. I'm going to bring you guys 2-yard access to these brawls. I was right there on the sideline, as close as can be. Me and the free press were the closest to the fisticuffs. Dave's in the grit category. And if you want to ask me on the side, we can share. I mean, it's been labeled. I'm going to share. Dave is in the grit category. Gritty guy. Nice guy, too. Man, it was great. Great day. You feel alive. You feel ready to go. You feel ready to cover the Detroit, Lions and what they're doing. And the tension's boiled over. Just joking around. Maybe the media has some anger management problems. They didn't want to get too hot. That way the tension's boiling, trying to write all these notes down and get their stuff out. Never late. We're here. Anytime you can join is great. We're just opening the show with some fun and hilarity. I'm just going to actually put a banner. Doc is gritty. And you can follow at Detroit Podcast because I share. I earn it today. Stayed out in the heat. So you look at it and you say, all right, it's a hot, sweltering day. You cover, an NFL team. Today I was just focused on, all right, what's going to happen ahead of pads? Today was the last day the Detroit Lions were practicing without pads. Football's back, guys. Tomorrow, fans will be out there. You'll get coverage from the fans. So make sure to get on X, get on Detroit Lions NSI. We'll have live updates as the practice goes on. It's going to be great. It's going to be absolutely spectacular to see the Detroit Lions in pads. And Calvin Shepard set the tone. I'll recap what I asked of him to before I quickly get here, the hijinks and the hilarity. And I think I figured out, so I'm not going to have any noise blasting, just a tweet from the PR director, and I'm just going to share it. Right there. The PR director highlighted. He saw what was going on, and he felt the need to share everybody that was there. And again, Colton, Corey, Paula gets a pass. No matter what, she's veteran, very nice. I enjoy speaking to her every single day. Very cordial, very nice, professional reporter. Speaks to me, and we have a nice rapport. Nolan, Ben, Rich, Eric, I saw you up there. ESPN. Listen, we're joking around here. Please, hopefully nobody takes this seriously. But it's highlighted by the boss, the big man. The big man noticed you guys up there. ESPN, Athletic, M Live, Detroit News. I saw that too, because I'm on there too. There's a little bit there's breaks that you take during special teams for me. You get to drink water and stuff. So I'm like, oh my God, these guys. That was my first thought. All right, they got caught. So always remember, the doc is gritty. And I have to just real fast here prop myself up. Didn't take the best photos, but I'm going to toot my own horn. I'm a tough guy. Tough guy that can broadcast, do it all. 5 tools. Smart, intelligent, handsome, creative, and a broadcaster. I like all those tools that you bring to the table. Yeah, hopefully it doesn't storm, because if it does storm, then the fans don't get the chance to see, which that sucks. You want them to be able to be seen. You want the fans to be able to. But if you are going out to practice and it does storm, you can't watch practice. So be mindful of them. I'll give you some tips too at the end today about going out there. It's fun. But of course, I'm going to highlight myself. Check this out. 951. Now, I'm not the best at. That's why you guys notice now why I wear a hat. And thank you for all the DMs that say, Doc, wear a hat. Wear the sunscreen. Yeah, I took care of the sunscreen. But I definitely want to highlight that I definitely paid attention that some of my friends in the media, nice people. And again, we're all only kidding around, but you got to poke the bear a little bit. So the grit report, it's been out there. Doxson, I think, has clearly established he is gritty, maybe dumb. Maybe I'm the dumb one to stand at the sideline and bring the best coverage out there. But I look at it like, if the action's right in front of me, I don't want to go backwards. I want to go forward. I've actually, to be honest, I get the most warnings because I'm walking damn near on the field. They're like, Doc, can you please step back? Oh, yeah. Sorry. My apologies. Sorry. They're like, there is a line, sir. Can you please step behind the line? I'm like, yeah. I'm sorry. Because I want to, you get into it. You see the footage, you see the run, the pads. If you do this, you have to have some level of love for the game of football. And for the Detroit Lions, you have to have some level of passion to stand there and be uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable, but barely uncomfortable. But first highlight from today's broadcast, Doc's gritty. Make sure you don't forget it. Not sick, not a complainer. I think I'm the least drama-free media member that there is. Don't complain. There's really a lot of things I could and I should stand up for myself, but I'm privileged to be able to go out there and cover the team. So thank you, Tara. It's very nice of you. Ask any questions you want. We're going to get into it. What I see today, the tensions boiled over. They sure did. The tensions were rising. And again, and here's why. And it was great too, because if you go back and you watch today, it starts with my two questions to Kelvin Shepard were about Jack Campbell, and they've done a great job. You guys have voiced your opinions that you want to hear the questions. Microphones are there. I think we're booming. And whenever the guys look to the down and left, that's me. That's my spot. Down and left, when Kelvin Shepard asked about Ahmed Hassanin and Jack Campbell, that was me today. Decent questions, I felt. And he was asked, like, how do you balance wanting all these guys to slap out the football and be aggressive versus, hey, Dan's got to stop practice all the time? And Kelvin said, there is a line. Everybody knows it. You got to follow it. And it's respectable, but it's tough. I mean, it's almost near impossible. If you're a defender, you're going full speed. You're trying to stop. You're trying to impact the ball, be competitive, but you end up being physical with another opponent. And the trash talk is probably the biggest reason why there's tension. There's trash talkers. I get it. Some big time trash talkers. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Brian Branch, the linemen. There's tension. They're ready to play football. Like the non-padded practices definitely have worn thin on the players. They're ready. So if you go out there Friday and the weather's nice, it's must see. Must see. There's going to be physicality. There's going to be some issues. It's great. I think there's going to be some great opportunities to see what's going on. That's right. I think that would be more comedy than there'll be more comedy than football relevancy. I don't think I have that many haters at all. Johnny, that's interesting. It's, there's going to be, because I think to just address that quickly, it's just because I have takes that some people would not like. They don't know me. They just see a version of me. But to know me is to love me. You guys know. That's why you're here. That's what I believe. And I might not be your cup of tea. That's fine. My teacup is full of the people that support the DOC and the Detroit Sports Podcast. The cuppeth has runneth over. I'm happy. I love any new fans. But if you have something that you want to disagree with, we'll talk. We'll chat. But it's really simple. What happens is, real fast with the haters, is they go, and it's really straightforward. If you're nice, I'm nice. But if you come at me with, you're a clickbait idiot, I think your take is stupid, you think my response is going to be nice? It's going to be, I've been doing this 15 years. I get paid money to do it. So your take is stupid, because if you do clickbait, you don't last. 15 years, you don't last. The audience dissipates. Our audience has grown. So it's, in essence, I'm just calling you out because you have a wrong argument. You don't like what I'm saying. You don't like the nature of the topic if you're a fanboy. That's all. And we can debate. But if we stick to the debates, I think most people like me. And that's why it's great. No. Oh, yeah. The Bears fans? Oh, yeah. You guys know. I should talk about that too. I did some of that too, because I talk junk too. And who are we going to talk junk to? You talk junk to your division rival. I'm going to do that too. I'll share the story of why I did that. It's great. It's great. So the tensions are rising. Why? Why are the tensions rising? Because it's football. It's Dan Campbell football. And every rep, there's competitiveness. And what it is that here's here's how it goes. There's an amped up nature. There's cheering. There's a lot going on, and there's some trash talking going on. So it amps up. It amps up the intensity. You don't want to lose in competitive sports at the highest level. You don't want to lose reps. And so Amon-Ra St. Brown, Brian Branch, they definitely met in the middle of the field and handled business after a rep. Giovanni Menu, Broderick Martin, handling business, battling, pushing and shoving. Anthony Pittman, third string running back, handling business. And every unit got into it a little bit to the point where Dan Campbell was frustrated again and said, hey, we got to stop. And that's it. It's just a warning. He had to make sure that it doesn't get out of hand because there's definitely no need for any unnecessary injuries, unnecessary injuries that take place as a result of the intensity that was going on. So it stopped. This time when Dan gave the message, there was nothing. It ended. But absolutely right. Go all out. But you can't tackle. You can't bring anybody to the ground. So it was tense. So let's see if I can get a little bit, set the scene with the words. So I'm standing there, right there, not in the back, not in the shade, right there. Football sideline, 2 yards, dock, vantage point. I'm on the field watching, reps happen. It's great. There's battling, and it's typically in plays where there's running plays that these are happening because everybody's jumbled up and there's pushing and shoving and there's hooting and hollering going on. And there's tension. And so there's excitement. And so as a competitor, you don't want to be dressed down by your colleagues. And I can't repeat what they're saying. I don't even, it's just in my mind translate to football jargon, football trash talk. So boom, they're scuffling, but they're not, no helmets have been flying. No punches have been thrown. It's just physicality, pushing and shoving, jersey holding. The fighting is coming probably tomorrow. What I title this, the Lions are ready to rumble. They're ready to compete ferociously. And literally, I don't know how you push that hard physically and not get heated emotionally. You got to compete. You got to activate it. You got to go beast mode 100% of the time. So that's what's going on. And the dogs are involved. Amon-Ra, Brian Branch. J-Mo is a talker. J-Mo and Ahmed, like my assessment today is Ahmed is the J-Mo of the defense. The exact same personality. It's great to see. He makes a play. He's firing up the defense. J-Mo, he's cheering on his teammates. He's into it. This is a all-in J-Mo that we're seeing. And you're reading about it. And you're seeing it from me and others. All-in J-Mo looks good out there. You will be impressed. Hopefully you got that from me at Detroit Podcast. All-in J-Mo is all in. Amon-Ra makes a play. He's out there cheering for his teammate. Doing his thing. Celebrating being out there playing football. It was good stuff. So it's tense. And so that's kind of how it boils over. And you guys see if you go out to training camp, I'll try my best to bring you the flair of what's going on. I just can't be as detailed with, hey, the words that they're using or the exact what messages I'm hearing. Now, we got to talk about some things too, because just one fan in particular is not a fan of the injury updates. So I'll just say this from the media perspective, because I can talk to you guys directly and share. What do you think is happening if each media member is sharing the exact same tweet within 30 seconds of each other? What do you think is happening? We have rules. And of course, I'd love to break them all. I'd love to run on the field and be right up in Jared's business and be like, why'd you call this play? Why'd you throw that interception to a safety that might not be on the team? But I can't. I have to be back away, and I can't report everything. You guys know if there was one person who would bring you every single word and write 5,000 words about the practice and talk about it for 3 hours, it would be me. I have recall. I have good memory of what happens in these practices. But I can't. And so this is where it started, the nature of how this all started. There was a player. I think there was a time where people felt like Eric Ebron got really hurt, and people speculated it wasn't that bad. But it really started to happen with CD Deuce. Like he was rolling around the field like he got his leg blown off. And everybody went, oh my God, oh my God. And it looked like from his reaction, done, season's over. Oh my God, his reaction was severe. And then everybody speculated, oh my God, because we were right there and reporting it. And so I think the fairness for players is not to let that ramp up. To say, hey, let's not speculate, let's be professional. I can deal with that. I can deal with you tell us what you want and eventually it'll get out. Now, what tweak would make is to say, hey, player was down, appears to have a lower injury, was some details to tell people what's going on. So I would like to be able to, without making a diagnosis, share, okay, on this play, I saw it was a run play and Derek went into somebody and looked like he landed awkwardly. Looks like it's an ankle injury. It looks like a lower leg injury. He walked off gingerly as it happens, but they don't want speculation for players' careers because it impacts within a minute. Someone tweets something and the whole world sees it. All the aggregators who follow us, all the people that are on our tail, which I love. Thank you for those that are on our tail. Boom, per John, this happened with no context, no other info. So I get it. We're all getting the same info, guys, from the same people. Okay? So you don't want us to report it? That's pretty stupid. We need to report everything that goes on because the 5 people that complain are loud and complain every single day. It needs to be reported. Now, do I also understand that the fans are sensitive with all these injuries? Yeah, you should be sensitive. For a fan to tell another fan, don't react, tell that fan, I'm passionate about my team. I care. Get lost. The calm down crowd I joke around with, there is no calm down crowd. It's the NFL. Everything when you are a Super Bowl team is analyzed. Terry Arnold strains his calf, it's a big deal. Derek Barnes leaves practice early, it's a big deal. Broderick Martin leaves practice, a developing player. Even if he misses 26 minutes of a 2-hour practice, it's a big deal. He missed 26 minutes of development. It's a big deal. We are in the NFL reporting business. So for someone outside the business to tell someone in the business how to do it, now you can critique it and say, oh, I'm not happy with the fan reaction. But my professional opinion is those reactions are great because we have a great fan base. Yes, react. That's the name of the game. If you are a fan that wants to sit on your hands, be like, I'll just wait for the report about Terry on, and I'll just go out there and read the papers, the funny papers, and someone will tell me. No, man. The true fans, the ones that I want to talk to, the 258 that are here right now, are the ones I want to be talking to. The hardcore fans, the masses. And the masses, guys, okay. And also, too, as a guy who runs a website, if you didn't care about the injuries, I wouldn't write about it every single day. Okay, so let's be real. We're running a business here. There is a financial component. Yes, we all talk about it, but it's something that maybe people don't want to talk about openly. But my business is I'm not coming out here talking about ping pong. I can, but I'm talking about the NFL, which has massive attention and a massive passionate audience. So to tell people, calm down. No, they don't calm down. They do not calm down. Because a guy like me's here. I'm not calm. Do I look calm to you? Do I look like somebody that is going to just be like, Terry Arnold strained his calf. Let's wait and see. That's boring. I don't talk to those people. I talk to people that are like, what the F? Why can't the Lions finish a practice without some guys getting hurt for one day? Those are the people. Those are my people. If you're the calm down crowd, go find those other people. Those are boring ass people. Those aren't sports fans. I don't go to the bar with those people. I barely talk to those people anyway. I talk to people that are like, damn it, Doc, what the hell happened to Terrion? How's this going to impact the team? Is he going to be back? And they're concerned. They're worried because they care about the football team they love. That's me. That's the person that I am. So the calm down crowd doesn't understand X. They don't understand sports. They just want to, they cannot handle their own emotions because it's out of control. Now, I'm in control. I'm in control of my emotions. They're just ramped up. There's no way you can do this if you don't There's no way to cover sports and care about them if you're bored out of your mind. You'll burn out. It won't be fun. So that's the 5-minute rant on, please. You're not going to tell somebody that gets paid to do this how to do their job. Most of the guys there know how to do it. It's just your own slice of how you want to do it. You just want to report the facts. I want to do it all. I want to give my opinion. I want to report. I want to say everything. I want to write what other people are writing. I do it all. And for that little slice, I think some people like it. Gritty Doc likes it. So today, it sucks. What's my reaction? It sucks. Terrion, I wrote 2 days in a row. He impressed me. And thank you guys for your support of that tweet. Every single day, I just pick a handful of people that I like and some things that I observe. I'm not going to give the full breakdown on X. I have to leave room for the observations that come out. I can't give the whole plate. I give half the plate. But it sucks. Any missed time for a guy that was ascending to the moon stinks. That's not good. I want one practice where it's clean. No, like every single day, I'm getting a text from the big bosses. I'm like, that's another story I don't want to write. You think I enjoy Terrion Arnold strains his calf? I was enjoying his flair. He's also a talker, a big time talker. You got to love it. And so anybody that's not there, it stinks. Now, the reports are that they're going to take it delicately. You guys know if you strained a calf in that position, you want to make sure it does not lead to any further progression or degradation of the leg. So take your time. You got 4 weeks. But it stinks. He's probably going to miss practice, at least one. So that stinks. It's unfortunate. But we're going to report injuries every single day, and you should be nervous. You should be on edge. If you see it, one of your players that you like that's playing well goes out injured, it's concerning. Don't write about this. Don't activate the fan base. Listen, I think in 15 years of running an X account, a successful one, you can't worry what the reaction is going to be. It's just, here's the information, take it, and if you have a question, then ask. That's all. Good question, Tara. Before. We talk to the coaches before practice, about half hour before, and we get out there. Great question. I would say the word you describe is not accurate. Hybrid wide receiver. He's full package. He's the full package. He can do that job. He can do it all. I think that he said it. He said it publicly. He's going to be utilized in situations where he's going to be out of the backfield. He said it publicly. So think Alvin Kamara, think Jahmyr Gibbs. Dan Campbell is straight in line with what he's used to. The tree is Sean Payton. The offense you should go watch is the offense from the Saints. Alvin Kamara, Jahmyr Gibbs. That's the guy. And he can do it all. And yes, it's going to be great. He's bulked up. He looks good. He looks stronger. He's just more comfortable. This is a great time. That's why in my previous, and hopefully you guys go back and watch some of them, part of the reason why I'm very optimistic about the team over 10 wins is because of the offense. If they stay healthy, a lot of the injuries are on defense. Sam Laporta, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery. Good luck stopping that. Jared Goff has the ability to just those 5 guys have played together for a couple of years now. It's going to be great. Absolutely. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. It's going to be a great year, breakout year. Unfortunately, some of the news was not great. Jared Goff did not have his best day. And again, I basically just picked some highlights of the things that we write, detailed exactly what's going into my phone, shows up on the website. Great system that we have. I'm definitely typing away at practice, trying to watch things, getting it to our platform. Goff wasn't that great today. Now, let's put it in context. Defense is getting after it. A lot of pressure, a lot of down and distance situations, a lot of, shifting, communication, blitzing, lots of stuff, lots of fun stuff going on. Lots of pressure. Goff was a little bit shaky. But the one connection that he does have in certain down and distances that he's got is with the tight ends. That is happening. Sam Laporta, Brock Wright, Shane Zylstra. Those tight ends are comfortable. They run their routes when they need to get into the middle of the field. They do. The middle of the field is typically open in a lot of these practices. Amon-Ra takes advantage of it. But the communication with JMO on one play, JMO cut off a route, and the toss came, and Eric Hallett got the interception. Boom, right to him. He read the play right. He made a play. So I saw an interception. Wasn't the best pass, wasn't the best situation, but in the end, you'd rather have a bad day now, early in camp. I think once the pads come on, I just think 5% across the board, everybody's going to get better. The offense hasn't looked as good as the defense. They've made plays in one-on-ones. And guys, there's certain periods that are made for the offense. 7-on-7, certain one-on-one periods where it's just the wide receiver against a corner. So a lot of times pay attention to where the drill is taking place. 7-on-7 is made for the offense. There's more space. The wide receivers get a lot of leeway. So, and sometimes it's just about positioning and really getting after it. But the safeties had a good day today. Kirby, Brian Branch, Hallett, Dan Jackson. They had good days. Avonte Maddox. Dan Jackson showed speed. Now, of course, he makes rookie mistakes in positioning at times, but Dan Jackson showcased some speed, some athletic speed. So I'm not going to do a different banner, but the other thing that I saw that I wasn't impressed with, the second team offense led by Hooker was just having, Johnny Morton is having a lot of motions and shifts and, the normal offense that you would see. And so it caused some discombobulation with the second team offense quite a bit. And so there was some discombobulation, and Hendon got pissed at the miscommunication and the running backs not getting to where they need to be crisply. And it's a lot. That's the whole point of it. So if you ask me, and also too, remember too, I am a trained psychologist. So I am in the position to say, hey, this is the healthy way to view it. So if you ever react to something football wise that we say or write, just ask, Doc, how should I feel about this? It's free. You don't even have to pay. You don't even have to whip out your insurance card. You don't have to pay me. I'll tell you if you ask. What do you know? Doc, how should I feel about this? You know how many people are so smart and reach out before they assume how to feel? Doc, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? I'm the guy to ask. I'll answer it. I'm probably one of the ones more prone to answer it than somebody else. So ask, but react. I think reacting is the best. For those that tell you don't react, I think you just should just click and turn off the page. That's no fun. I don't go to the water cooler and talk to anybody where I go, man, what do you think about Terrion and JMO? And they're like, wait and see for the regular season. Okay. I don't talk to anybody like that. I go, yeah, man, I think Terrion can do it. I think Terrion can do it this year. JMO, I think 1,000 yards. He wants that paper. I think, we don't go, let's wait for the pads. Dude, it's Thursday. Absolutely. He's not extra feisty. He's feisty. He's aggressive, as you would want from your safety. Remember, too, the reason why they're aggressive is one of the first headlines that I wrote that I didn't exactly feel comfortable writing, but once I started writing it, it felt more natural. I put Aaron Glenn's defensive philosophy, semicolon, violence. And he openly talked about it. I want my people to hit. I want them to go out there and hurt people, metaphorically. Like I want the idea to be, we play physical. We play big boy football. And I'm like, can I write this? Like, So that was early on. Now I just like, okay, better to ask for forgiveness than permission. Just write it. Sorry, Gun. Your other message is not suitable for the air. How do you know I'm wearing them? I am. But in the end, I looked at it from the offensive perspective. They can get better. The offense could definitely get better. Now, the blitzing is getting there. Another guy that did not have the best day, Giovanni Manu. People are asking. We have an article coming. Luckily, it was filed yesterday. And I said, well, there's so much news with a lot of news breaks. And so a lot of stuff that we have in the hopper, it's my responsibility to decide when to put them up. I said, let's wait on Manu. Let's wait one more practice, see how he's doing, and we can assess later. So we have a kind of a comprehensive, how is Manu doing overall? Emmett did a great job. Emmett Matavosky, great writer from Michigan State. Met him up there last year and just got great energy, good passion, wants to learn, and can fill the job of a situational writer. So we'll have that later on. We'll have information about Goff, what he said today. We have Manu. I spoke to Kyle Allen today. I spoke to him one-on-one. Now, here's the challenge, too. I want to tell you, I know you guys wonder, too. Afterwards is great. I think most of the players are professional. Kyle Allen just talked about, like, I've done this before. It's just like any training camp. My job is to go out there and perform and try to compete. And he definitely valued the time he spent with Pittsburgh, and he wants to get out there. So I'll share with you what I asked him and what he said. But if you want to, just a little quick 2-minute side note. You're asking questions, right? There's so many reporters. I typically haven't done it yet, but I think it's getting there. I think where if there's someone interviewing somebody, I don't just kind of typically walk up unless there's somebody else walking up, because there's so much media and everybody wants everything. I was the first to talk to Kyle Allen, me. Somebody else walked in about 6-7 questions in. You're like, okay, it's not a big problem, but sometimes you just want some exclusivity. Another outlet has probably a different set of questions that they ask, and you can check that out. But what I wrote about Kyle Allen will come out probably today at some point. Yeah, absolutely. When you do this, when you're doing it live, it's a little bit different than the podcast where we have topic driven. I'm interacting with the crew, which is cool. The 300 or so passionate people that are here. Share this. Make sure you retweet it, Steve. Let the fans know, hey, somebody's here answering questions about what happened. Gio Manu, raw. That's just the best way to put it. He's raw. Did he get better than last year? Slightly, yeah. I think he's trimmed down. His footwork's just a little bit better. But, you also are competing against guys that are killers that are looking for jobs. Keith Cooper, Pat O'Connor, they can work, and they will get you better. And so when you read a quote from Jeff Risdon, it's a great kind of metaphor to spice up your assessment. But it's also, in a way, couched in the fact that he is developing year 2. He's not a starter. He's on the second unit. So remember that. He's a second string offensive tackle, and he's learning his way against guys that are battling like it's their life and death to get to the quarterback. And these defensive ends don't play. Remember, Casey Rogers is no joke. His mission is, bull rush. And also, too, that's how you develop. Make the mistake. Mason Miller also, got beat a little bit. So you look at it and you say, hey, these guys getting beat. You want them to learn. And then you go to the tape and you say, hey, this is how there's no perfect player in training camp. You make the mistakes. But, a developmental player is developing. Best way to put it. That's the thesis. So Jared Goff didn't have his best day. Hendon and Kyle doing okay, getting the ball out, working their way and running the offense. Now, again, without pads, there was no red zone drills. None of that kind of stuff was going on. None of the intensity that you saw when you get pads on with red zone drills, situational 1st and 10. It's just, hey, run the plays, certain situations, get after it. And so it wasn't as crisp as you would like. I think the defense is winning. I think Kelvin Shepard has his guys getting after it. And that's what you want to see. I think that everybody that listens to Kelvin Shepard should be very impressed with what you see in regards to how he conducts that defense. And he's got a nice team around him. Deshae Townsend, solid. Sean Dion Hamilton, former player, can mold him into a great linebackers coach. Casey Rogers, top 3 defensive line coach in the league. So you're going to get good development. So Tyleek, in terms of who talked today in the media, Tate Ratledge talked. That was fun. I asked him a little bit of a business question. Tyleek Williams, I was not a part of his interview because I was talking to Kyle Allen. And Goff talked. So our Goff piece should be coming out pretty soon. Christian wrote that. Jared Goff, a little bit salty today. He's not happy with the questions. And I'm glad I went down this road because it sparked what I forgot. One of the assessments, Jared was a little salty today. I wonder if it comes across on the video. But he was salty. He was cutting people off. He does not like anymore the question of, Well, Jared, you lost Ben Johnson. How do you feel about John Morton? For the 30th time, he's like, we are confident. Amon-Ra's kind of getting salty with that question too. And I think we should stop asking it until the games start. I mean, no, let me phrase that differently. The question should not be, what's the difference? The question should be, what are you liking about John Morton's offense? That's the question I asked Kyle Allen. What do you like about this offense from Johnny Mo? You'll get Kyle's answer. What do you think about Goff? What do you think about Hendon? What do you think about the room? So the one question that I felt, every question I felt Kyle answered was fair, except for the one where, what's your message to fans that don't know your game? I don't even know if I'll include that. I just didn't like the answer. It was professional, but it was more like, he just kind of dismissed it. Not on the top of the radar. Like, that's not his priority, is to worry what the fans think about him, which I think a lot of players, they don't. I think that's probably not the best media question. What's your message to fans? My message to fans is, if I play good, you're going to cheer me. And if you don't play good, you're going to boo me. That's the message. He didn't say that, but that's probably the attitude he took, was like, I just got to focus on getting better and handling myself. I can't. It's probably for him as a quarterback viewed as noise, either way, good or bad. So he didn't answer that question. He just been like, the easy way to answer that is, I'm a tough competitor. I want to be the backup. I want to, have an opportunity to compete and show everybody what I'm about. Simple as that. You can talk your way through some easy stuff. So the offense did not have a good day. Absolutely. I think Shep comes across as somebody that's what I tweeted. I tweeted, that leader is impressive. I think he's got a firm handle of everything he says. I don't feel overwhelmed because I was trained by Aaron Glenn and Dan Campbell. I feel good. I feel ready. He's a head coach. He's coming. He's going to be a next head coach. 2 years here, 3 years here. Learn the defense, be aggressive, have success, become a head coach. He's looked good. I think the safety battle is competitive. That's one in which a lot of people are paying attention to, and a lot of people are stepping up. Kenley's looked good, physical. I think he'll be on someone's team. That's going to be a tough decision. I feel like Dan Jackson obviously has the lead because he's a draft pick, but Kenley can show out. He can make this team. Absolutely can make this team. The issue is, guys, what's going to happen is there's going to be some guys that get cut that I think other teams are going to be like, we like you. The noise is good around you. He's one of them. I don't know if he'll make it to the practice squad. He's one of them. He's got something. Hungry, hometown guy, motivated, very smart, intelligent, getting after it and learning. And he's going to compete. But I think it's tough because I think right now, as we speak, Dan Jackson and Avonte Maddox are probably in the lead. But there's competition. Some good competition. Let me know if you have any further questions about what happened. I hit the main points. Like I said, the way the practice flowed out was pretty good. I like that there's been a little bit more one-on-one competition. But unfortunately with one, what happens is that today I got lucky. So what happens is I'm looking at the one-on-ones, the 7-on-7 team period with the number one offense. So I definitely watched that. And so you're starting to scroll the field as they go to the middle with some plays. And then the second unit takes over. And then you look, and then you just kind of happen to scan the field, and you look to your left, and there's, oh my goodness, there's defensive linemen going one-on-one against offensive linemen. I just happened to see it because they also gathered and got feisty in the one-on-one periods. And I said, oh my goodness. So I turned away. I didn't look at the second team and third team period. And I looked at that, and that's where some assessments come. So that's the only drawback that I have to publicly share, is that I'm only allowed one credential. I've asked for more because then you could just say, hey, you watch this, I watch this. I can bring you a more comprehensive approach. But being that I'm a one credential guy, should I be louder? I should, but it's okay because you cannot really cover everything in a practice. You want to. I want to. I have the natural drive to give you guys every detail humanly possible that I can. But I'm one man. So luckily I got to see it because there was fisticuffs and there was a little bit of getting together, some energy, and they were going at it. Pat, the kid, Keith Cooper, is just every time there's a drill one-on-one, he's always pushing and moving, and he's quick. He definitely uses the skills that he's got, his quickness, to win these reps. And it's good to see Panay Sewell out there and working and grinding. And it's good to see Ahmed out there and all the defensive linemen, Nate Lynn, getting after it. And it's good competition. Now with pads, I think it's going to be a great thing. So those are some of the main takeaways here. Let me browse our site one more time. And if there's any more questions, if you have any direct comments, any super chats, let me know before I get out of here. Broderick Martin was back today. Again, he definitely saw him trying to push back, trying to use his bull rush, but unfortunately it's up and down. It's not consistent in regards to winning battles, but there's some that he wins. He uses his size and speed and power to win, but there's good competition along the third offensive line unit. Mason Miller definitely is working on his fundamentals. Plays a little bit too high sometimes, but he's also taking advantage of when he loses reps to learn from it. Colby Sorsdahl on the right guard spot, learning. So let me just recap one last thing then in terms of the takeaways from what was said. Jared Goff definitely was talking about, just some the finer points of having Johnny Moe. You'll see that. Tyleik Williams is like, that's my job. My job is to be counted on, to get after it, to be somebody that the team can count on, to get after it. So first team offense, second team, like I said, second team offense wasn't that great. Third team is getting after it a little bit more competitive on both sides of the ball. But there's some learning time. There's some times where every opportunity takes every unit has their moments where there's weaknesses that they can get better at. And there's no perfect rep yet where there's perfect practices and handles business. Absolutely, David, you're right on. Absolutely. That's the key. That's the assessment. Professional, does his job, does where it needs to be. No outside extracurricular stuff, just does what he needs to do. I think he's the guy. He's a veteran leader. That's why he's here. He'll be a vet. And I think it's going to be, that's why really in the end, when they said there's one spot, because they know Maddox can be versatile, it's for Dan Jackson, Ian Kennelly, Hallett. Get after it. You got to compete. And where do you compete? Pro Football Hall of Fame game. Make a play. Pick off the backup of the Chargers. That's how you win. Correct. Was out there training, but was not on the field doing practice. Of course. Yep. Energy is contagious. That's the best way to describe it. I think nobody else maybe has described it that way, but he's got the energy. He's the JMO of the defense. You got him. So I do think Moody's done some things to put himself in a spot for a reserve role. No doubt about it. 74, 72, doing their thing, both competing hard. Manu definitely working to do his thing. Dan Skipper. It's it's one of those battles now. But remember too, okay, it's always the caveat. Always the caveat, guys. These 4 days were not in pads. So that's why it's not nitty gritty. It's not fully detailed at the 3-tech, 4-eye. It's not like full on hard-nosed football. It's more of a general global look because they tell us, so I respect it. It's not in pads. It's hard to assess. But globally, the first week, you can kind of get a trend. The defense is physical. The physicality is starting to boil up. There's some plays that you're leaving out there on the field, but some of the good players are rising to the top. And here we go. Let me know in the comments when I'm done. What do you want to see when the pads come on? You want to see Aiden versus Panay, Gio versus Ahmed, Ahmed versus everybody, Ahmed versus the world, 61 versus the world, baby. That's the attitude. So that's what's going to happen. I'll bring you continued coverage of what's going on. Anything at all. I'm an open book because the blessing is that I am beholden to the audience. My expertise is to give the audience what they want. And if you want this, if you want more insight into what the players are saying, you want more interviews, type in simply, John, go talk to this guy. I will try to find them. And then they'll tell me no. They'll be like, did I just read your NFLPA article. I don't want to talk to you. I asked 3 questions today of the guys in the pressers. Of the guys talking to the media. I asked Jared Goff Two things, actually. I asked 4 questions. I asked Jared Goff 2 things. What do you think of the next Netflix special? He saw it all. He liked it. He's a fan. I asked him, hey, what's it mean when you have comfortable tight ends that you just are getting better? And he's like, yeah, it makes my job easy. I asked Tate Ralledge about the shark. I said, tell me about the shark. That was the last question. I said, hey, you caught a shark. Well, tell me about it. Yeah, it took him 25 minutes to reel that in. 25 minutes. Tomorrow, Friday. First pads. Big news. And then I asked him a tough one. Got to see. You can't. And I'll tell you, too, I had it ready. I tried to ask him that day one, but he waited till today. He told everybody on Monday, I'm going to talk later, guys. Chill. So I had one lined up for him. I knew it was tough. I'm like, okay, you got to, all the fluff questions were good, decent, professional. What do you feel about the position? Why do you like the position? What happened in college? All that stuff. But the doc's going to come in with like, hey, a little bit of more direct business question. I said, hey, it's looking like a lot of these second rounders are getting their money guaranteed. What do you think? Do you think second rounders deserve all of them to have their money guaranteed? Professional answer. I don't know if that's my guy, but it's my guy. Could be. If it's my guy, let me know. I'll know it's you. I asked him direct question. Do you want your money guaranteed? He's like, I leave that to the agents, but smart thinking man's lineman answer, which was, yeah, everybody wants more guaranteed money. Everybody wants an opportunity. I don't begrudge anybody above me that got the money. And look, his situation was locked in, unfortunately, because of the 49ers. He ain't mad at the NFLPA. He's mad at the 49ers. 49ers were one of the first teams that got their guy in not guaranteed. So that made his situation, this is what it is. It's the NFLPA's fault that they're weak and have one of the worst presidents out there in Jalen Reeves-Maben, who's either in the dark or has no influence. Couldn't get the, first couple picks got it. Maybe instead of drafting PR statements, you maybe dig deep a little bit and maybe plant your flag a little bit and say, hey, instead of having to meet about the leadership that they got, they could say, hey, you know what? Jalen helped these second rounders all get their money guaranteed. It might not have been that tough to do. So, but he didn't get guaranteed money, and he answered it perfectly. Stand-up guy, super smart. First tough question, he handled it pretty good. I like the guy. Direct, honest, and he's tattooed. But, I look at it and I'm like, whew, I want to see what it looks like when he's at center. I want to see, because he's going to be tested. You just know that some defensive ends are going to test him from the opposition. I think he's got a good chance to win a lot of those, but there's going to be some confusion, some miscalculations. You hope you get it out of the way early. And so when the playoffs roll around, you're handling business. Because it was tough. Frank Ragnow's rookie year was a little bit up and down. But he flashed why he was a good player. Good player. All right. My time's up. Thank you for listening to the 350 that eventually got here. Like it. Like I said, I'm an open book. Mi amigo. Absolutely. Message. We'll figure something out maybe. I speak muy poquito Spanish and Hispanic culture. I'm Middle Eastern. That's the culture that I fully immerse myself in. But, if we could work something out, I could send a statement and have it changed to Latino. I don't know what that means exactly for a Latino interview. If it's for a Latino outlet. Listen, I love the interview requests that are come in. Thank you, to the internet world for inviting me to all the shows. I'm on tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Friends are on the radio, so I'll be on the radio. So, again, quietly, if you see me, don't make a scene. But, hey, shout out to Doc. Doc, Gritty Doc. Maybe Gritty Doc. Every day is a good day because there's great fans like Brent, Tara, all you guys in here. Hopefully I highlight you enough. Anything I can do better, I'm an open book. Thank you for letting me spend the hour with you. It's fun sharing the details of what's going on from my vantage point. The Gritty Doc is out for today. More content coming, videos. Make sure, just make us a little slice of your day. Detroit Lions on SI, si.com/NFL/Lions, at Detroit Podcast. You can get a hold of me directly here on YouTube. If you guys notice, even on YouTube, I will respond to a lot of questions. If I don't, please don't take it personally. Try again. Eventually, I spend an hour a day answering as many as humanly possible. Please never take it personally. I want to reply to every single person that at least once has said, "Hey, Doc, reply to me." And I think I'm hitting I got a good percentage. You don't grow if you ignore your fans. I love you guys. You guys make it fun to do this. No, please, thank you. I love how you guys chop it up with me and give me ideas to try these things. Yes, when there's nothing going on. Hey, also too, maybe make it a priority to check in when there is something going on. I think we got good information up to the minute as much as possible. But Steven, I understand exactly what you're saying. The respect truly that I have for all of you. Give you guys 60 seconds. That is amazing. You literally every day, I go walk out there. I'm like, Jesus, I'm walking out on training camp with the Detroit Lions. I'm just a regular fan. I'm a regular guy that just had a stupid idea to try a podcast and grow it and be competitive and try to get into the NFL. Be gritty. Don't hide in the shade. I went to the front in the sun. It's kind of the metaphor to work in the NFL. You don't hide in the shade. You go to the sun. You go to the heat where the action is. So the heat's in the NFL. So that's where I wanted to be. And I worked my way there, and that's because of you guys, because of the fact that when the fans had things they wanted to be talking about, we talk about on the podcast. If there were things that were being needed to be said, I said it. The two big things was yelling at Jim Caldwell, advocate for the team. I screamed and lost my voice after that Seattle game. You need to stand up for the team. When are you going to stand up for this team? How many rules violations are you going to accept? 7, 8, 9 before the league? So that one got a lot of attention. And then the other one was just screaming at the top of the lungs that if you sign Matthew Stafford to the extension, you will hate it. It'll be miserable. And everybody cut me off and was like, you're just a hater. And I said, I understand, but he's not winning here. It's just wasted money. It's not happening. That was my stance. And then people went to, well, he could go somewhere else and win. I don't care. I only cared about, could he win in Detroit? And my answer was no. But this is different. Now the offense looks pretty decent and has a chance. It's the defense that's got to carry this football team to the promised land. But you guys have made it fun. Thanks for letting me ramble and get my thoughts out of the way. But tomorrow it starts for real. Padded practices. It's in front of fans. So I can deliver messages on X at Detroit Podcast and the website. If you're not there, please, we will give updates as they happen. We are allowed to because fans will be tweeting too. So come to me, come to the fans, engage with it. Tomorrow's a fun day. Tomorrow is when the fans are there. It's free for all. Hey, JMO had a great play today. Boom. The second it happens, you'll hear it from the Doc's mouth on our site and on X. Let's go. I'm part of the community. You're part of our community. Like and share, and we can grow it even bigger. Thanks, everybody. Well, I'll be back tomorrow. Every day you support, I'll be back. Gritty Doc. See you tomorrow.